So today we'll be having the 26th episode of the pitch, as what Liren said earlier. So what is the pitch about? Okay, the pitch again is about the students, for them to showcase what they learned for the past 10 weeks. So the theme for today is hacking behavior. So the hacking behavior is to create an app that will affect a person or a community's behavior. So for example, it would be like to create an app, a to-do list, an app to affect someone's maybe to overcome their forgetfulness. Sorry. So it's to create something like that. So moving on, there will be 4 groups that will be presenting. The rules will be each group will have 7 minutes to present, and then right after presentation there will be Q&A sessions open for the floor. So you guys can ask them questions about about the project and whatnot. So and then there will be voting. You will be voting for the best app, best creativity, and also the best pitch. So you guys will be voting after this. And then the third one is a group photo with the students, and lastly will be mingle with the students. So you guys get to talk with the students about their project and whatnot after the presentation. So let's start with the pitch. Without further ado, let me get the first group. It will be okay. Let's give a big big hand of applause for Pipilikas, the first group.
Hi everyone. Thank you for coming for our pitch tonight. My name is Justin. This is Yo, and that's Dustin. So the app that we created is called Pipilikas. So the reason why it's called Pipilikas is because Pipilikas is actually ant in Bengalese. So we want to create an app that shows human beings as people who actually want to help each other in the community. So you have Pipilika helping you help others. So the issue that we're trying to address here is that we think that human beings want to help each other, but it's hard to find people to help as well as to get people to help out. For big organizations or big events or big problems, you have like World Health Organization and all that. But for small, everyday things, maybe like moving furniture and all that, it's hard to find people. So we're trying to create an app that allows you to look for volunteers as well as post up a project to or volunteer yourself in the most convenient way possible. So we have, to help you guys to visualize this a bit easier, we have a persona, which is called Wendy. And Wendy is your everyday writer who just moved to Mid-Valley and needs help to move her furniture. And she has no friends to help her because she's in a new environment. So here's where Pipilika comes in handy. And I'll pass the time to Yo to explain the app.
Hi everybody, I'm Yo. So we're going to talk about, I'm going to walk you through the actual app and how it works. Okay, so this is the home page when you get into Pipilika. First thing you're going to notice is this big map on the right-hand side. That is, it's something called Mapbox, cutting-edge technology. It is going to get the location of the project that somebody puts up. So Wendy, that he was just talking about, she needed some people to help her move furniture. It's going to give the rough location of that. So that's the map. Over here on the left-hand side, you see these are all different projects that people have posted up. So if we click on the first one, it says please help something. So it's going to bring us all the way over here. Looks like we're in like China or something. And so first thing you see is we have like the project right here. You get a little information below that. Now let's go ahead and click it. Let's get some more info on that. So click it. Now we see some basic information on it. We're going to come back to this actually soon, but this is the basic idea. So let's go ahead and go back out. So you can search with it. You can search like this, or you can also, alternatively, you can search by region. So if you're in a certain place, you want to search for something. I think we have something in Mid-Valley or... Yeah. So you search for Mid-Valley, you want to help out. Okay. Guess there's nothing there. But that's how it works. So, moving on. So now this is basically how it works. Let's go ahead and make a project, and then we're going to see how the flow works. So we're going to post a project. This is how it looks. First you put in a project title. Then here you can put like an estimated time, how long you think it's going to take. So there we go. And then also how many people you think you're going to need to help you. So we got that. And then here we have like some categories that you can do. And you put in a small description right here. And here you put the street address, the exact street address of where that is. Yeah, so, and you keep going down. Now, the map here, you can actually use it to show your location, your rough location of where you want to post the project. So let's go ahead and post that. TTDI. So here, and so that's, you can post that. Also, finally right here, you can like upload images as well, kind of describe what you need help with. So go ahead and put some images there. And now it's going to create it. Yes, there it is. So now we have this, it exists. This is like from the perspective of the person who posted it, obviously. See at the top right, or on the top of the screen, we got edit, we got mark as complete and delete. So these are some options that you'd have. Also, you got all this information. You have volunteers down here. We're going to get into that later. So right now, let's go ahead and look at the other perspective. So let's say I'm a volunteer. I want to help out. So I'm going to look around, and I'm going to go ahead and, hold on one second. All right. So now we see we see that post. All right, TTDI, let's go for it. We want to help out with this. See some pictures of it, all this information. Now here we have a volunteer button. So you click volunteer. So I click volunteer. Now that volunteer request is going to be sent to the poster, and they can choose whether they want to accept you or decline you as a volunteer. So let's go ahead and volunteer. Oh, yeah, and here's the details that we put too. Yeah, confirm. Go ahead, and then let's go to the poster point of view. Okay, all right, this is how it's going to work, except you can see the information here. I'm running out of time. So, yeah, we accept it. Now the other person, you are included in that, and yeah, now you're part of that. You get the exact location, everything of that. Here's the approved volunteers. Okay, other cool feature I want to mention before I run out of time, we got badges. So to help people want to volunteer more, we gamify it a bit, and then we have, so if you've done something like you volunteered for like 100 hours, we're going to give you a badge. Or there's also a badge for like the first project that you ever post, or maybe you've helped a lot in one specific category. So you want to show the time? Okay, well, that's the badge thing. And then also, final thing I want to say, oh yeah, here we go. There's the badges. All right, there you go. And we also have a review feature where they get reviewed. And last thing I want to say is that we have scraping technology. So for people, there's something called Eventbrite that we get the information from. So when people, they post like local charity events or something like that, we scrape it. That's a different thing. We scrape it from them, we get it, and we put it on our website automatically so people can join that if they want. And that's Pipilika. Thank you very much. Yeah, any questions?
Yeah, you guys got any questions for them?
The idea is really great and I think it's nice, but I have a question here. How much people are you expecting will sign up for this for? Will you use this app? How many people?
So you use the app, and we want as many people as we can. Obviously, so we would start with KL, right? And we'd try to make it big in KL. So people would upload projects in different places in KL and around KL, maybe like Petaling Jaya, stuff like that. So we would start there, maybe kind of small at first. I don't know, a couple hundred, sounds good. And we'll expand. Yeah. Hi. Sure. Yeah.
Question behind, do you guys consider the security features? If let's say I'm getting someone to come and pick up furniture in my house, and I've moved to a neighborhood alone, what's the security behind that? Is there any random person, if anything happens, what's behind that?
Ooh, I am so glad you asked that question. I got the perfect answer. So, security, great point. So, remember the confirmation, you have to get approved, right? So in order to get approved, the person looks at your profile, the poster looks at your profile, they check you out, they say you're cool, and only then, after you've been confirmed, will you get the exact location. That way you don't get any psychos trying to, run up on you. What do you mean left, right? Yeah. Sorry.
So we did consider this security feature, but we've also realized that it's similar to the situations with probably Grab, right? Where if you want to get into a stranger's car, it's going to be quite scary. So we've considered putting in probably more specific details of the person, maybe just photos, front, back, IC number, location where you stay, just so we have a safeguard against these probable problems that might show up. So if there's an issue with the person through a complaint, maybe we would be able to remove the account of this person so that they won't be able to access the information. Yeah.
The review thing too, yeah, that's good. So if they get bad reviews, don't let them volunteer for your thing. Huh? How are we going to make people volunteer? That's a great question. All right. So we assume, all right, our link to hacking behavior is that people are in general good and they want to help other people. I know that sounds a little corny. So, thing is, we also, with the badges thing, eventually would be very cool. Think about this for a minute. So you earn the badges. Let's say you did 500 hours of volunteering, right? And we have that tracked on our website. So let's say you're an employer. We want to put it on LinkedIn, in other words. So eventually it would be cool if we could link that badge to LinkedIn. That way, because as it stands, LinkedIn, it only has hard skills mainly. It says, yeah, you're a good coder. What's that? Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah, we put it there. So then the employer, in addition to knowing Ruby and JavaScript, all this cool stuff you've learned, they also know, hey, you're a good person too, because you helped out for so long. You got a badge. That's long term, but yeah.
Okay, the last one.
Hello,
the last
guys. I think, yeah, okay.
How do you prevent users from abusing the app to, for free labor?
Okay, that is a good question. Okay, we definitely talked about this. Yeah, because you could just make a dummy account, right? Yeah, yeah, that's good. Maybe,
So the concept of it is in terms of volunteering. So it's like if you don't want to volunteer for it, you don't have to. But if you are willing to help out, then only you would volunteer for it. So in terms of like free labor, I don't think people would abuse it for free labor. And even then, if you actually just need help, you're not able to pay for it, then you get people who are willing to volunteer for free. So yeah.
Sorry, did you mean like abuse the free labor, or did you mean like abuse the badge system so that they could? Oh, free, yeah. Then I mean, people, if they really want to help you, like massage your feet or something, that's cool. Like that's up to them. Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's give them a big hand. That's Pipilikas Group 1. All right, without further ado, let's bring in Group 2, XPR.
Welcome and a very good evening to all of you guys. I am Izwan Akbar and this is my teammates. We have Hanshan and Lemil Yi. Say hi, guys. All right. So first of all, we're gonna start with like a simple slides presentation. All right. So the app that we make called Expiare. You have to roll the tongue. Expiare. That's how you pronounce it. All right. And basically, this app is like food wasting made hard. So I guess you guys have some sort of idea where this is going, right? And can we move on to the next slide, please? So the purpose of the app, the reason why we created the app in the first place was to reduce the amount of waste regarding raw materials and raw ingredients. Oh, sorry, not raw materials, raw food, sorry, like beef, poultry, lamb, stuff, right? And then, right now, you know what? We're just gonna show to you guys how our app works. Oh yeah, sorry about it. First, this is the APIs that we use, like voice, OCR, recipe, and push notification APIs that we use, which we got it from the internet. No, recently apps. Okay, so there we go. The Expiare. So first we're gonna open it. And that's our login page. So if you don't have an account, I would recommend for you guys to create an account. It's very simple. You guys done it before. So I am already a user, so I'm gonna log into my account. So in this case, I'm easy@gmail.com. My password, I'm just gonna paste it because save time. So once we're in, it will greet me, welcome, Easy, and it will give you the date today, which is Wednesday, 28 November 2018. And as you can see, I already have some list of groceries. I mean, like groceries in the fridge, e-fridge. And right now, right, obviously, when you get the app in the first place, you wanna add recipes. Oh, sorry, you wanna add groceries to the app, right? So what you can do is you can add a new entry. Firstly, like you can just enter like manually, like maybe you want to add like chicken or stuff, and then you want to enter the date manually yourself, but we're too cool for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a voice engine that goes something like this. Chicken, 25th of December. All right. Hey? Okay, the chicken is not really there. Let me just try again. Chicken, 25th of December. All right, so it's there, right? Yeah, thanks. Right now, when it's there, right, obviously you want to submit to send it in. And when you submit it in, it will be there. So now we have two chickens. One expired, actually both of them expired on 25th because we have like one on 25th. Why 25th? Because it's Christmas, right? Everybody wants to eat on Christmas. Anyways, if you want to add another like ingredient, we can actually use like let's say you want to buy a packet, right? And on the packet itself, it has an expiry date. And most of us, because this app requires you to speak, I won't say good English, but understandable English, right? So sometimes when we see the it won't be read because of the language barrier and stuff. So in this case, I'm just gonna add an ingredient called lamb. Lamb. So lamb's got read in, and then now let me show you guys what we can do with OCR, which is optical characterized recognition. Yeah. So in this case, we can just like capture required date. Yeah. There we go. So we're gonna scan it. Hopefully it reads it. It read it. 29. Woo! Man. Man, I don't know about you guys, but it's getting pretty hot in here, man. So we're gonna submit it, right? So now we have lamb in our list of groceries. And then now, what's the point if you have the ingredients, right, but then you don't know what to do about it? I mean, what's the point? Because it's gonna remind you, hey, it's gonna expire within this set of time, right? So that's why we have a recipe API also installed, as I mentioned just now, which says no idea what to cook. You click it, and it will list you the groceries that are not going to expire, right? So in this case, let's just take chicken and flour. We search it. So it'll bring to the recipes page, and right now it's just listing you like 30 recipes, what you can possibly do with it. And then you can click on a link called check out this recipe to see how it's being made, right? So in this case, let's try buffalo chicken chowder. It'll bring you to a web page. And here we go, buffalo chicken chowder. And it will tell you how to make the recipe as mentioned. So, yeah, so basically the steps are inside here. I mean, it's too long for me to read for you guys. And yeah, let me just go back. This one, right? Yeah. And then we can go back to the home page. And right now, we also have expiring soon, which is by default, it will say expiring within 3 days. So now we have 2 groceries that's going to expire within 3 days. We also have expired, which is, in a sense, to tell you that, these items are expired. Why we put it in the first place? Because we want you to keep track of the groceries that you did not manage to cook. I mean, obviously you can delete it, like you can delete butter, no problem. We deleted it. Bam, it's gone, right? And for the next part, I will let my comrade, Hanshin, do it.
Okay, it's just a very small feature, but we call it the gem of our app, okay? So you might be wondering, what's the little button on the top right there? Let me try something. Add strawberries expiring in 3 days. There we go. It's 3 days from today. So these are some of the powerful technologies we've been implementing to create a great user experience for everyone. Let's try, for example, okay, I'm going to submit this. Yep, I'm going to save. How many strawberries do I have? Man, okay. Okay, let's say I want to find out how many food are expiring in like 3 days. Let's try that. Show all expiring in 3 days. There we go. Right. What about create recipes? I mean, it's not going to be a surprise. Create recipe. There we go. Okay, so for one final thing, right? You might be wondering, we are doing this on a mobile phone, but actually what we learned is Rails on Ruby. It's a web development language, right? So that's our secret. And there's one thing I'd like to show you regarding that secret. If you go to our notification, what? Okay, yeah. Okay, if you look at this notification, you might be wondering, okay, maybe I've got some food expiring in 3 days. How am I going to get notified? Well, this thing notifies through your phone. Let's try. So I want to be notified of expiring groceries within 3 days. Let's go. And we have a notification. There we go. The Expiare app web app says I have 3 groceries expiring in 3 days. Right, so these are some of the technologies we've implemented, and we are so glad to show you guys what we have done. Pass it back to my colleague.
All right, thanks, Hanshin. Man, that was cool, isn't it? All right, so we just want to say thank you. You guys can expose yourself now, like show me who you are. All right, so thank you guys for our pitch. And the floor is now open for questions. Any takers?
Anybody got questions?
Yes, bro. What's up, man?
Have you guys thought of maybe partnering with a supermarket so that at the point of purchase of every single item, that item can be integrated into the app straight away and you don't have to manually add through your voice, add strawberries, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So at the point of purchase, but you have to do it with a supermarket lah.
Yeah.
If they have like a rewards system going on already, they might want to
consider this. All right, so can I just like repeat your question so that I can get it right? So what you're saying is like, would we like have a partnership with market so that it'll be easier for consumers to buy and stuff? Is it? Is it what you mentioned or? I see. Okay. Truth be told, we have not think about that because the reason so when we created this app, we wanted it to be free for everyone to use, right? Because what we have learned here, we want to give back to the community and society. That's what we aim to do, and because this is like a great knowledge that we have gotten from here, and we just want to give it back to the society and community. That's why we make it free, and perhaps we will, consider what you just said. Okay, thank you. I hope that answers the question, yeah? I hope that answers the question. All right, cool. Any more questions? Hello, yeah? Oh, yeah? I think so what you're saying is, will the OCR used for the dates, right? If you were to scan an item, will it show the item's name and stuff, right? Well, I don't think it does that. It only takes in the date because that's how we program it, only to take the dates. And because for the name of the item, I mean, like instead of scanning, you can just say it, right? Like lamb, chicken. I think it'd be like much less work for you to do instead of like, taking the phone, scanning and stuff. So I hope that answers your question. I'm sorry. Any more? Hi, yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Oh yeah, definitely. Okay, so what you're saying is if you go to a night market or pasar, right, and then you buy oranges and strawberries, right, or maybe bananas, right, and they don't even put an expiry date, right? So how will we know when it's gonna expire, right? Well, all I can say is that is to your own insight. If you like to eat fruits or vegetables, I'm pretty sure you can tell when the fruit is going to be bad. But what you can do is you can set a reminder because you're not sure like when it's going to expire, right? So you can just put in like, you can just say like expire within 3 days or 4 days, and it will eventually update you if the food is about to get, if the food is about to get expired. If it does not get expired, then you can update it. Does that answer your question? Thank you. Any more questions?
Hello. I appreciate the idea, but it's just that I think you can do a lot more than just making expire date. Because for what I think, right, for the recipe, do you just find it on the Google, the recipe?
Excuse me?
The recipe. Do you find it on the Google or?
Oh yeah, we use an API for that, yeah.
Because for
API.
My suggestion, I would like to suggest that maybe make it into a mesh community app, whereby people will be like, it will be like a Facebook for the food, where people can like open out the app, see what people are doing, see the new recipe, and they will be like, oh, I have something like this, and I can check the expiry date, the recipe, what my friends are doing, something like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like your suggestion. It's a suggestion, right? That was it a question. Yeah, it's a suggestion. Yeah, I really like your suggestion. Yeah, hopefully we can work on it. Like because we were given like 1 week and a half to complete this. So there are a lot of things that we want to put into the app, but because of the time constraint, we're not able to add. So I hope that answers your suggestion. Any more questions?
I have a question.
Oh yeah, bro. What's up, man?
So from what I understand, you guys built it with Ruby on Rails, which is meant for building a web application, right?
Yeah.
So, but from the experience that we saw just now, it seems like a very mobile experience. So can you explain how you achieve that?
All right. Right now, I feel like I'm going to get cotton mouth. I'll be talking a lot, so I'm going to pass to my colleague Hanshan.
To answer your question, right, actually when we developed this app 1 week ago, the first thing in our mind is we want to create a mobile app. Because if you think about it, right, when you take photos and stuff like that of your groceries, you won't be like bringing a computer around. Yeah, I have my computer here. Yeah, I have my shopping grocery here. How am I going to key stuff in? And everyone's on their mobile phone anyway. So how did we do it? We used the technology which is pretty new. It's exciting as well. It's called Progressive Web App. In other words, right, the app that you saw just now wasn't downloaded from any web store or app store like the Play Store or Google. No, we went to the actual website, just add to home screen, and there you go. An app lives on your phone, just like that. Free, no hassle. Yeah, so this is the future of web apps. If you guys are really interested, check out Web Progressive Apps. Yeah, that's done. Does it answer your question? Yeah, thank you. Any more questions? Or is that the end?
All right, let's give them a big hand. Okay, let's move on to group 3, Empath.
All right. Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you to everyone who's out here today to support Next. My name's Steven, and these are my awesome teammates, Bella and Calvin, and we are Empath. So I think it's fair to say that everybody here has experienced bad customer service. We think that it comes down to a lack of empathy on behalf of the sales rep or the customer service rep. So what if there was something out there that could tell you how customers were feeling at a certain time? Maybe that would change the way that you'd approach the situation, right? You'd be a little bit more tactful. Maybe you'd pick your words a little bit more carefully. So we'd like to show you our app. Our web app analyzes text, face, and emotions, audio, sorry. We've already created an account, first of all. So let's say that Calvin is a business owner, right? And he's looking to improve the way his business handles the customer service process. So we can sign in and we can pay as well and take payments with credit card. For the purposes of time, we've already gone ahead and created an account as well as a company. So this is the dashboard, which is the main component of our app. So on the left side, we have all the tools. And on the right side, we have all the employees that belong to this company. So we think that customer service mainly occurs in 3 major touch points. So the first one is through face-to-face. The second one is through phone calls. And the last one is through some form of text-based communications, like email. But I think nowadays businesses are also interested in things like social media comments to see how their brand is being perceived to their demographic. So I'd like to show you guys our text tool. So this is really easy to use. All you have to do is copy a block of text, say an email, and click Analyze. It's as simple as that. And it comes out with the results on how what it's doing in the background is it's breaking down this block of text into individual sentences and then running analysis on each and every one of them to see how people are feeling. So I think if you scroll down a little bit, you can see how it's broken down each of this paragraph into sentences, and it can detect, say, for the first sentence, 65% confident that it's joy, and so forth. So the next tool we'd like to show you guys is the audio tool. So all you have to do is upload an audio file. So you can imagine, say, in call centers, when you hear that message like, your call may be recorded for training purposes. So you can put that audio file into here. And well, we also have a sample audio that we'd like to show you. We just play this audio file.
Under international law to have nuclear power for that reason. But the far right in the U.S. says, no, we don't even want them to have that. Even if it's clearly and explicitly not for weapons, we're still going to say no nuclear power for you because we're ridiculous human beings who don't know what a compromise is and who aren't intelligent, and we are the warmongers and we want to fight. They're allowed under international...
So it looks like the guy's really upset. Let's see what our tool has to say. So initially we wanted to make an app that does audio analysis in real time, but audio is really tricky because it's really difficult to kind of discern who's talking. So the first iteration of our app, we tried to hook up 2 microphones and let people know, okay, this is person 1 and this is person 2, and that works, but in a real life setting, it's not really practical. So this is what we've chosen to go with. So just like the text analysis, it comes back with the emotion groups, and the way it works is it measures vocal intonation and pitch, and as well as arousal. So not that kind of arousal, but the voice arousal to let you guys know how people are feeling. So that's our audio app. So the next thing I'd like to demo is our face analysis tool. So for this one, we've managed to get it working in real time. It's really easy to use. All you have to do is hook up a video, like a webcam. So we'd like to invite Easy over to demo it out. So, hey, sorry, Calvin, could you scroll up to the top, please? So just above the chart, you guys can see the legend, right? So it might, if it's too small for you guys, it's all right, because yellow represents happiness, gray would be neutral, blue sadness, and so forth. So if we have Easy pull a couple of faces, we'd be able to see how he's feeling at the time. So let's have him pull a neutral face. So it's responding. Okay, Easy, pull a happy face. Be happy. Be angry. Be angry. So that's disgust, I guess. So once you're done with the analysis, you can also click download as PDF, and you can save this chart in PDF form. It's just one click. Okay, originally when you press the spank button, it would insert data. It's mostly surprise, a little bit of happiness, but also a little bit of anger and a little bit of happiness. But it doesn't work right now. So one of the cool things about this graph is you can actually filter out the emotions. So say you're a company and you were just interested in maybe the points at where your customers are happy or just sad, and you want to compare between the two. So you could do that as well. Yep, and that's our app. Thank you very much.
Questions for the floor?
What frameworks did you use for the sentiment analysis?
It's not frameworks. We actually used 3 different APIs for each tool. So the video analysis one is Microsoft's Emotion API. So we plugged in. So the way it works is we set our camera to take a screenshot every 3 seconds, I think, right? So 3 seconds, and then it sends that request to Microsoft, and it comes back with the results. And then we kind of put it in a more user-friendly format to see. The text tool was using IBM Watson, which is the supercomputer, and that's the API that we're using for that. The audio was something called Beyond Verbal's API, so we plugged into a few things.
For the text, does it look past bad English and not?
Why don't we try? Let's try it out. Because we've always been demoing with just sample phrases, so we could try. So what do you mean by bad English? Like grammar or just like misspelled words, things like that? Okay. Yeah, say something. That's still pretty proper. Yeah, that looks like a tweet or something. Oh, let's try. Yeah, it's tentative. So when it doesn't actually analyze every single sentence. Like, so if it's not sure, it'll return us with neutral. So not everything that people say has an emotion. So I think the middle sentence is no one can understand, right? I mean, it's not really linked to any emotions, right? So that's how it works. Any other questions?
How would you see the sort of face analysis stuff being used in, let's say, like a store, and what are your thoughts on the sort of user privacy there? So if I walk into a store, how do I consent necessarily to my facial emotions being recorded?
Yeah, we're working on the consent part, but the way we thought it would be used was, say, like in a customer service desk, you would have a camera. I guess for now you would have to ask for the consent of the customer. But yeah, it's not something that we looked into regarding this.
Questions from the floor? If not, then yeah, please give the group Empath a big round of applause. Thanks, guys. So we are moving on to the last group. They are Car Boom.
How's everybody doing tonight? So we are Car Boom, and I'll just explain the name first while we're waiting. So we are made out of Keith, which starts with a K, Bunkit, and I start with a B, and Melissa, which starts with an M. So Car Boom takes three of those, and the word car, and boom, and puts it together. And you'll see why it's called that later on. Okay, so the theme of the night was to hack behavior. And so there are many apps out there which try to change your individual behavior, but it obviously requires you to partake in wanting to change, which means that if you don't want to change, the app isn't going to help you. So how we decided to look at it was to hack society's behavior. Now, how would you do that, right? Well, actually, it already gives you a hint. But first, we decided to look at what problems do we have and we can look at. And so one of the biggest problems we have in Malaysia is our parking and driving skills in general. I think if anyone here is a driver or just, needs to use a car, you'll find that you get double parked in a lot. You get stuck, right? And also there are times when cars block roads, block anything really, and cause traffic jams. And what can you do about it? You can get mad, you can horn a lot and no one comes, and you still waste a lot of time. So what we decided to do is, actually, why do we even have this problem? It's because the whole culture, the whole mentality of Malaysia, if you're not from Malaysia, is Malaysia boleh, anything can. We'll put anything anywhere, all right? So, how we decided to help, or rather, what we want to do with our app is basically make vigilantes out of every single one of you. So what is that? What is vigilantism here? Is it like masked superheroes? No, it's not. It's you. You don't have to wear anything. I mean, no, you wear your normal clothes, but you get to, and keep in mind that we are actually trying to position this app for the government, so we would want them to work with us, or we'll work with their database. And so what we would do, or what our app will allow you to do, is you get to take photos of anything you see that is an offense, a traffic offense, and you get to report it immediately. And what it will do will show basically people will have to face immediate consequences for their bad actions. And we'll show a demo of the app. Okay, so technical problems. But how we would eventually make people change, right? How does behavior change? Is that if you keep getting issued fines, right, for parking badly, and it could be anyone. There's no longer traffic cops that will go around. It could be the person who you've blocked. It could be just someone walking by and who notices your car is blocking someone else. And so if you're being issued fines left and right, eventually your behavior will change. Because you don't have to use our app at the moment, but then you're still going to keep getting fined, right? And eventually you will be forced to use it because you want to check whether or not your bad behavior has resulted in any fines. So we'll just wait some more for the... Thank you for your patience, guys. Now imagine that time waiting, right, was when you were waiting for a car, some driver to come back. Irritating, isn't it? All right, so first we will show the user what they can do. So they can make a complaint when they see a badly parked car or obstructing car. So you can either take a photo live, right, or you could take a photo live now, or you could upload one. So because we're going to be working with the government, this drop down you see with the number plate would probably hold all the number plates that would could be, and it'll be autocomplete though, so you know it will be in. But right now we've just set it there, and you can select the offense for what you think you've done wrong, and you can add a comment of how it has affected you. Yeah, and then you just press submit. So it will ask you for your location, and you have to give it access. And once you do, and what it's going to do is trying to grab your location of where to match where this offense has taken place. And it's successful. So now we can go and check, complaints we've made. So here we've assigned it to this person, and who the offender is, and where they've done it, and everything. Proof, right? Okay, so then because this is the user side, and now on the officer side, what would they see? Switching now, yes. Okay, so obviously the officer would be working on a laptop, and so they can go into your profile, and immediately, yep, that's the officer right there, and they can see the complaints that have been lodged by users, and so they just press the work button, and they'll be able to see, what has been lodged. So obviously, in this case, yes. Glow. So the officers are actually assigned certain locations, so they'll be automatically filtered out. So obviously this guy has not parked entirely inside the box, so we're just going to ignore the hehehe, right? But we would press approve because it's correct. I mean, he's offended, sorry. So the offense is correct, so it's legit. Yes.
So
yeah.
If the officer thinks valid offense, he can go ahead and approve it. If he's because most of the time some people will try to get someone else fined as well. So not all the complaints are actually legitimate complaint. So the officer will actually be able to check through whether it's a proper offense or just a funny one. Yes.
Yep. And obviously when people submit jokes, then they will just reject, so no fines will be issued. But otherwise, once they press approve, then a fine will be issued into the account, which you will see right after we switch. So obviously now the officer has done a good job, he's cleared all his tasks, and we can see on the second user's account.
So now after the officer has issued all the complaints into fines, we are going back to the user profile page now.
So once they log in, they can immediately check, your fine history, and oh, damn, sorry about the language, but anyway, they've got fined, right, just because they parked badly, which is an offense. And so now they can look down, they can see if, it's legitimate that they were actually this person, and they should be fined, and then they can immediately make payment within the app itself to settle their fines. So we can go ahead and try to make a payment. We'll just type in it's a demo account, so don't worry, we're not paying for a fine. So once it's paid, there'll be a notification, and then you can check, and your status would have said paid, and you're no longer have any outstanding fines. Yep, and that is about it. Thank you guys for listening. Yep. So,
any questions?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, hi. But this will only work if everyone downloads the app, right?
Actually the thing is that you allow anyone who can log on or anyone who downloads, so if only one person does it, right, you might still get fined if you're the unlucky person who's parked next to this guy's car.
What if I don't have the app or I don't want to download the app? Then
So
I won't get fined, right?
I know you.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically because it'll be linked with the government, right? So no matter what, you'll be immediately, you could be issued a letter fine, right? But eventually you will get the fine. So it's just that you want to know now, right? How much money you got to spend, or do you want to know later in the mail? Unlucky surprise.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the question is, do you think it would be difficult to work with already existing departments? and enforcement. Well, I know there are a lot of other apps which do different things, like, to pay parking and, to already pay your fines. I guess what the proposal would be is basically to allow, because officers can't be everywhere, right? And it can't be having eyes everywhere, and there's also limited numbers. So this would allow, obviously, now whether or not they will accept it is a different question, you're right, but in theory, it would make their job easier and also, alleviate all the kind of issues that we have in Malaysia in regards to driving and parking and things like that.
I have a design question. Why did you choose an apocalyptic kale background?
I chose it because the skies look nice. It looks like the color of my logo.
Also, it's like yeah, I mean, you can't park badly anymore, right? You might get fined.
Yeah, I'm trying to stick to 3 colors, like yellow, black, and gray. So this picture is kind of nice.
Okay, how do you know the photo is not Photoshop?
It's definitely Photoshop.
Good question. No, I think he means the reports. So what we have allowed basically is you have to take a photo immediately. There are no filters, no nothing, right? Obviously, right now, we've allowed it to be able to upload, but actually, realistically, we're only going to allow you to immediately when you take something like Instagram, but without the filters, so you don't get to edit a photo once it's been sent out. So, and then it obviously has to check in with whether this location is correct as well, right? If you even your house and you take a photo or something like that, then it doesn't match anymore. And also, not implemented yet, but basically an officer can also be able to see like how many times has this person reported a car or something. So you can't keep reporting the same car in the same picture because they'll be able to tell. Yep.
So a few things. One with parking with the location. So ideally, you won't be driving and you taking a picture and reporting someone. Would there be a feature that it wouldn't read, check your location at the time for you to be able to fill it out?
Actually, yes, because this is like part of the further improvements. Because what we're trying to do is basically, if you take a picture like Instagram, you don't have to post it right away. But hopefully, we can like get some metadata from the picture or something. But within a week, we didn't figure out how to. But it's part of the further improvements to get the information out from the picture, so you can take it and then like after 20 minutes post it. But it gets the location whenever the picture is taken and the time as well. But right now, I can't do it yet.
And about information, so when you report someone, you can be able to see his name. So I see that when you select the license plate, the owner of the car's name showed up over there. And when I received the fine, I also saw the name of the person who reported me. So ideally speaking, I can go around looking at the car, I take a picture, report it, and I'll be able to find out who's the car owner.
You could, but we would probably disable that for like, if it's a legitimate future use, we probably won't obviously show that because privacy issues. Thank you for pointing that out. But yes, so those privacy things we'll remove, but a number plate is not, and you can even check anybody's number plate of whether they've got fines now. So yeah.
But just something that I want to point ask more on the social issue what happened when you actually capture the image, right? And so happened, right? The person is like, "Hey, why you capture me for what?" And everything, and it's like then it's like the fight start. How are you going to take care of this kind of question? And then it's like the news is like, shit. Then it's like another person is actually a blogger, everything, and then take picture, then upload. Then it's like the blogger is actually a lot of user. It's like wow, big news already. How are you going to solve this problem?
Fair enough. But you see, in the case of if you were going to take a photo, right, of a thing, obviously the person would not be there. If the person was in the vicinity, you wouldn't as a person actively engage to look. Let me find the guy, even though he's right here. That makes not much sense, right? Because you deal with it in a more diplomatic manner. Yes. Yes, you'd hope so, but yeah. Any other questions?
Just quick reaction as well. If you thought about a reputation system for people who report, so that if you report a lot of rejected ones, then you should be like either blacklisted or removed from the system.
Yep, good idea, good point. We actually have that data already, right? But obviously we hadn't shown it. So obviously of a person's reputation, but the officer would be able to tell how many times this guy's been submitting, I guess, false or rejected complaints. Yeah. Yep. Thanks. Any other questions?
All right, so let's give them a big round of applause, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kaboom.
Thank you. All right. So that's all the 4 groups today. Okay, personally, I'm really impressed. So 1 week before, they did not know, they did not get to choose their teammates. They didn't even know the team is actually hacking behavior. So we just disclosed this to them 1 week ago, and they came up with really amazing works, in my opinion. Let's give them a round of applause again. Right. And next is our favorite session, voting time. So take out your phone, go to nextmy.co/vote, key in the password, and you will get to vote who has the best app, most creative app, and the best pitch. So make sure, because you can only use this code once, so make sure when the form is loading, don't exit. Just to remind you, we have Pilikas, which is to help you be a nice guy and volunteer to help out someone. EXPR, which is reminds you if food has expired. We also have Kaboom, to kaboom someone if they park their cars illegally. And then there's also Empath, right? Empath, to empathize with your customer service. So like you can use the voice recognition, face recognition to find out how your customers are thinking. So you have 5 minutes to answer the vote, and we will announce the result in 5 minutes. Thank you. The result is out. So what should we announce first? Best app. Okay. So you guys have voted, and the result is all in my hand. The group that has voted being the best app is, drum roll please. Oh, I forgot. It's XPR. Okay, next one, best creativity. Drum roll. It's Empath. All right, and the last one, best speech. The group that has given the best speech for tonight is XPR again. Woo! All right, and that concludes our night.